Yes. Okay. So we talked about volume. You watched a video about volume yesterday. So we're going to continue talking about volume. So we previously discussed surface area. So surface area was when we talked about the outside of a figure. So that was like wrapping a present. Sorry, hold on. I'm just fixing my setup. All right. So surface area, because we were talking about all of the surfaces, that was like when we were wrapping a present, or if you were painting a box, those would be all of the surfaces. Volume is the inside of something. So like in the video yesterday, it had like the box and it had that ice cube in the box, it's filling it up. So if I look here at this cube, okay, if I was filling something up, so if I think about dumping water into this cube, where would the water go first? Well, it would go to the bottom of this and then it would fill up. If I was dumping in water into this cube, it would fill up the bottom and then go up to the top. If we look to the left over here, both of these are triangular prisms, okay? So triangular prisms are named after their bases. So the base of a triangular prisms are triangles. So even though sometimes when we think of base, we think of bottom, yes, the bottom is a rectangle, but its bases are triangles. Because if we think about flipping this triangular prism, it would look like this. So there would be a triangle on the bottom and one on the top. So if I was going to dump water into this, it's like a bunch of triangles stacked on top of each other is a way to look at it, okay? Here, it's a bunch of squares stacked on top of each other. Here would be a bunch of rectangles stacked on top of each other. So you need to, this is the only writing we have because we have something new. So steps to finding volume of any type of prism. So I would write these down. So the first step is to identify the shape of the base. So you need to be able to know what shape it is. So whether it's a rectangular prism or a triangular prism, or you could even have a trapezoidal prism. Please nobody annotate over my screen. So that's the first thing, is we need to identify the shape of the bases. After we identify the shape of the base, we want to find the area of that shape. Okay, so then the second thing is to find the area of the base of that shape. So if I had a triangular prism, I would need to find the area of the triangle. If I had a cube, those are square faces, so I would find the area of a square. If I had a rectangular prism, I'd find the area of a rectangle. Then the third thing, there's different ways to look at it. I wrote multiply by the height of the prism, okay? So once you find the area of the base, and the base again means just what shape it's named after, then I multiply by the line that it got extended. So it talked about that in the video yesterday. So if you had a triangle, it extended it to make it three-dimensional. That's what you would multiply by, okay? So we call that line the height of the prism. I sometimes say it's the line that connects the two bases, or you could look at it as how much it got extended. I'll come back to here in a second, okay? So if I was looking at this triangular prism, either one of them, I would find the area of the triangle, and then the height of the prism would be this line. That's how much it got extended out. Or if I looked here, I'd find the area still of the triangle, and then this line here connects the two of them, okay? So I'll leave it on here for another second if you needed that. So whichever one of those phrases that you like to think about. So we identify, figure out what shape is the base, find the area of that base, and then you just multiply by the line that connects them. We'll do a couple examples to clear it up. And then as we go through examples, if you have the questions, make sure you let me know. Okay, so here is our first example. So in this shape, we should know that this shape is a cube. So the area of our base, so we have a square. So when I have a square, I use length times width. So I know it lags a little bit when I do this on Zoom. So if I found the area of the base, 10 times 10 is 100. So that's the area of my base, 100 centimeters squared. Then it says, what's the length that connects the bases? So here's one square on the bottom. I now need to look at its opposite side. So here's the other square. So if that was the bottom, then here's the top. The line that connects those two is this 10 centimeters right here. That's the height of my cube. So there was the area of the bottom. So the length that connects the two bases together would be 10. So then the total volume, I take the area of the base and I multiply it by the height of the prism, or the line that connects the bases. So my volume of this cube would be 1,000. I know the writing is lagging, I'm sorry. 1,000 centimeters cubed. And a lot of you guys mentioned about cubic volume yesterday, which was good that we used cube, because I had 10 centimeters squared times 10 centimeters, which gives us centimeters cubed. Any questions on this one? You can raise your hand or write it in the chat, okay? So the area of the base, so the base is a square, times that by the height of the prism. The height of the prism is the line that connects two bases. Let's look at a rectangular prism. So if I look at the base of this, Mohammed, did you want to say something? Where did Mohammed go? Mohammed, did you want to say something?
Yeah, for the last one, would it be cubic centimeters because you had to multiply it 3 times?
Very good. So if somebody just did that, thank you. Yes, because you did 10 times 10 centimeters to get 10 centimeters squared, and you're taking another centimeter squared times another centimeter. So you're doing centimeters 3 times. Very good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that was for our cube. So let's look at a rectangular prism. Okay, so the area of the base. So the base of a rectangular prism is a rectangle. So I could really use any rectangle that I want. I'm just going to use the one on the bottom here. So if I find the area of that base, so right now you should be able to tell me what the area of that base is, of that rectangle. So that would be, good guys that are typing in the chat, awesome. That would be 48. Aitana, did you have a question, or were you just going to answer the question for us? Aitana, did you have a question, or?
Yeah, I was just going to answer.
Okay, so where did we get 48 from?
12 times 4.
Perfect, good job, Aitana. So 12 times 4 gives me 48, and that would be units squared. Then if I look at this 48, I have to think, well, where is the other rectangle that matches the one on the bottom? Well, it's the one on the top. So what's the height of this prism? So 3 would be the height. That's the line that connects the bottom from the top. So that's 3. So I take the area of the base and I multiply it by the height of the prism. So 48 times 3 gives us 140, good Sebastian, 144. It's a 1 there. So you do the area of the base times the height. So you first need to find the area of one of the rectangles, then multiply it by the height. Okay, so it's not just like base times height, it's the area of the base times the height. okay? And then the last one's a little bit trickier with the triangles, okay? So again, the area, so no, it does not matter which rectangle I do, which is a really great question. So if I would have said, if I flip the rectangular prism, let me see if I have like, if I call this calculator a rectangular prism, if I had it like this was its base, I could have turned it like this, and I could have used another rectangle as the base. So for the cubes and the rectangular prisms, it doesn't matter which one you find the area of the base of. Because say if I turned it over and did 12 times 3 is 36, then what would have connected this one would be the back one. So then I would multiply by 4, okay? So then if I just look at this last example is the triangular prism. So even though when you think base, you might think bottom, there's a rectangle at the bottom, but it's a triangular prism, so its bases are triangles. So I need to find the area of this triangle. Type in the chat, what is the area of that triangle? So we can't forget about all the things we've learned about a triangle. So a triangle, we use 1/2 times base times height, okay? So the base is 4 of the triangle, and the height is 3, not the 5, because we have to, the 3 is perpendicular to the 4. So 3 times 4 is 12, but then I have to divide by 2 or take the half, so I get 6 is, good, I got a lot better answers now. Good, 6 is the area of the base. Now I need what's the height of the prism. So if I'm thinking about the height of the prism, if I was going to stand this up, so if I was going to put this on the bottom and turn it so the triangle is on the bottom, how high is the prism? Or you can ask yourself, well, what line, good Dylan, what line connects the two triangles together? So I want everybody to try and type me which line. So there's a triangle and there's a triangle. What's that line that connects those two triangles? So I have a triangle in the back here and a triangle here. So this 15, good. So the 15 is what connects them. So the area of the base of the triangle for a triangular prism is the area of the base is 6. So the 15 is the height of our prism, or I look at it as the line that connects your two bases, that connects the two triangles together. The 5 doesn't connect two triangles together. The 5 is just from the top of the triangle diagonally here. I want the line that connects my bases. So the line that connects the two triangles. So here's a triangle, good Ethan. So 15 connects it. So I have 16 times 5 is 90. Okay, so the steps were we need to first figure out what shape are the bases, and then we need to find the area of the base, and we need to not forget about triangular prisms and formulas for triangles. Then you need to multiply by the height of the prism. The height of the prism is the same thing as me saying is the line that connects your two bases, or how much your shape got extended. So for that last one, we should have gotten 16 times 5. I'm sorry, whoa, 6 times 5. Whoa, why can't I read today? 6 times 15. Sorry, guys. 6 times 15 gives us 90. And we got 6 because we did 4 times 3 times a half because it was a triangle. Questions on this? You could either raise your hand and ask it out loud or type it in the chat. Everybody's okay? Okay, so area of the base times the height. So what you're going to, back to the steps, sure. So what you're going to do now